As we near October, when better shooter games are being released, we're getting more and more information about the next Call of Duty game to dissect for you all. The Infinite Warfare demo, beta, schedule was announced, and of course, since Activision is spelled with a dollar sign and Sony is spending money like a sailor back at port, the PS4 gets an additional weekend of playtime over the Xbox users, with PC users being left out in the cold since Infinity Ward is notoriously terrible with PC ports anyways. The beta starts on Friday, October 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern and ends on Monday, October 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern for PS4 users only, and then picks up again the following weekend, Friday, October 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern, and ends on Monday, October 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern for both PS4 and Xbox One. Additionally, Infinite Warfare has already gone gold, so the misnomer of beta is hysterical to me, considering that they're claiming that the beta will help optimize the gameplay when they have about 2 weeks to code and test before a possible launch day patch, although, let's be serious, they don't test their patches anyways. On Saturday, October 1st, GameStop will be hosting a Gathering of Virgins, a Call of Duty event in stores everywhere, giving away a brand new poster for people that pre-order the game. Additionally, a booklet has been leaked giving details about the combat rigs, payloads, and trade system that is still more complicated to understand than Britney Spears circa 2008, and the 4 maps which will probably be available in the beta, which I went over in the last Call of Duty news video. On to some Modern Warfare Remastered news. Some are speculating that Modern Warfare Remastered will be sold separately at some point, though the timetable hasn't been given, based on recent comments that director of Raven Software David Pellis said, quote, "The announcement today is that the 6 remaining maps we are actually going to be delivering to anybody who purchases Modern Warfare Remastered, anyone who owns it, or a version of Infinite Warfare that comes with it. They're going to get all 16 of the maps for no additional cost." The important part of that sentence is anyone who owns it or a version of Infinite Warfare that comes with it, which may just be a slip-up by the director, or it implies that there are ways to get Modern Warfare Remastered without having a version of Infinite Warfare that comes with it. Like most pre-order bonuses, Modern Warfare Remastered will probably be sold separately after a few months once Activision realizes how much money they can make off of it, since more people will be playing it than the actual Call of Duty release this year. I'm more than willing to wait on it since I already have 2 versions of the original that work fine for me. Speaking of working properly, Raven Studios have been making updates to the Modern Warfare Remastered build that was shown off at COD XP after complaints that it isn't exactly the same as the original. Of course, idiots would complain about things like game mode, strafe, jumping sounds for medals, objectives, and voiceovers, and even the Op 4 sniper having a mustache when you could just play the original game unaltered right fucking meow. In other news regarding old Call of Duty games, both Call of Duty 3 and World at War are now backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and big surprise here, there is tons of people playing World at War again. Since the player population has skyrocketed with this news, the chances of getting into lobbies with hackers is now minuscule, which is exactly what I said would happen if all the people complaining about low player counts on hackers on Call of Duty 4 would have just gone back to play it on their old console unless they sold it because the old Call of Duty games weren't important enough to keep that old console around. Call of Duty 4 and World at War are both $10 on PC, and my old ass PC that I had before this one could run it no problem, and it's got better features than the console versions, as you can see here in the background, like bigger lobbies and mods. Sorry, had to get my hashtag PC Master Race in there, and speaking of which, from old Treyarch games to the new one, Black Ops 3 got some updates on the PC as well, as they are finally getting an open beta for mod tools, despite the fact that it's almost October, and they originally announced support for it in March. But that's par for the course with Call of Duty leaving PC users in dust, which is why the population is so low on the games, and there's much better games out there anyways. Considering how shitty the game runs on PC when I did the free trial weekend, even for mod tools, I don't even think it's worth a $30 purchase at this point. Also in Black Ops 3 news, you could buy 6 common supply drops or 45 crypto keys for a limited time, which I guess is good for all those completionists that need to have every bippity bop in the game like a camo, which looks like someone took a dump on your gun, and those silly ass dance moves at the end of a round. The only things that are actually useful in the supply drops are weapons, so I'll save my keys for one rare one rather than waste my time getting a reticle that obfuscates the site more than it helps me out. And lastly, Activision CEO Bobby Kotick let his business strategy out of the bag in an interview recently stating, quote, "The idea of having a game that centers around armed conflict throughout history, you never run out of ideas for Call of Duty games. There will always be Call of Duty games, and they'll be played on a variety of devices devices. So, in other words, if you morons keep buying this shit, we'll continue to make up storylines or fabricate the truth about past conflicts, and we'll slap these games anywhere an impressionable youth can be brainwashed into staring at a screen rather than being social with others. On top of that, it's easy to not run out of ideas when all you do is copy-paste. The easiest way to dilute a product is to make so much of it that you can't focus your energy into making one version of it great. That's going to do it for the Call of Duty news of the week. I've been the Schwantz27, out like Greg Roman. Until next time.